How to get the most out of Parents' Evening. Hello and welcome to Videojug. Most schools will invite you to attend a Parents' Evening at least once a year and some every term. These are a great chance to get some valuable feedback on your child's progress directly from the teacher. We've spoken to Jeff Smith, head teacher at Anson Primary School in London, to show you how to make the most of this golden opportunity. Step 1. Prepare.
Parents need to prepare for a Parents' Evening because invariably the time allocated is going to be very tight. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it's very important perhaps to make a note of any issues that you would like to raise and write them down, because invariably you'll finish a meeting if you haven't made notes, leave the classroom, and then as soon as you've left the classroom you'll think, oh, I should have asked that question. So it's very, very advisable to have, say, a piece of paper stuck onto the fridge door and then a couple of weeks before Parents' Evening, and then you can just note down any issues, any questions that you might like to ask the teacher, and then you've got a sort of an agenda for that time that you have available with the teacher.
Step 2. Taking your child.
Taking a child to Parents' Evenings, there are different views on this. Some schools will encourage you to do it, some schools will be ambivalent about it. Sometimes it can be a good opportunity for the parents and just the teachers together to talk about a child's development without the child there. Sometimes there are benefits to having the child there so that the child can see that the parent is aware of the issues that have been raised at the school, to see that the parent is being told about the achievements that a child has made, and can be very affirming for a child as well. So there are advantages to both systems. The other option, of course, is possibly to take the child with you to Parents' Evening, and then they can sit outside the classroom, and then if it's appropriate, then they can be brought in to give them good news or to identify any particular areas that the parents and the teachers feel they need to focus on in the coming months.
Step 3. Bust the jargon.
Anybody who's in a specialist environment, whether it's medicine, whether it's teaching, whether it's the police, have acronyms, jargon, terms that are precious to that particular environment. And parents can have to understand that teachers can often slip into this use of terminology, use of acronyms. And if at any stage they're given information that they don't understand, what they should do is to say, can you explain that to me? There's nothing wrong with somebody saying to somebody, could you just explain what that means to me? And quite often that'll make the teacher realise, oh yes, I shouldn't have used that, I meant it this way.
Step 4. The future.
For a Parents' Evening to be an effective use of time for the teacher and the parent, it's important to look at it as a review of what's been undertaken in the past 6 months, 9 months, a year, but also to look at it as a way forward. What do we need to do now to maximise our opportunities for that child? What are the targets that we need to set? Are there any particular areas we need to focus in on at school? Are there any particular areas we need to focus in on at home in order to address any particular areas for development? Or are there any areas that the child is doing even better in that we can push the boundaries forward to make sure that this is something that they will truly fly at and achieve to a very high level?
Step 5. Further appointments.
If you're there and you've had your 15 minutes, if you overstay that 15 minutes period of time, then it's going to cause disruption to the rest of the evening by you investing more time than you should have taken. Therefore, it's appropriate to be sympathetic to the situation. If you've been allocated, say, 15 minutes, not to overrun significantly. And if you feel you need more time, then do ask the teacher if it be possible to make another appointment and make that time your time with just the teacher.
Step 6. Feedback.
Parents' Evening provides feedback for the parents, but it's also very important that feedback is also provided for the child. It should be done on a one-to-one in a quiet, calm environment, and then the parent can spend time explaining to the child what they're happy about, what's been achieved, what their strengths, what the teacher said about them that has thrilled the parents, and also spending time explaining to the child perhaps the new targets they might have to make them do even better in their schooling. You will often get a lot more out of a child by praising him rather than bullying him or her or saying, no, you've got to do better in this. So it's always very valuable to identify when you come back from a parents' evening, these have been the strengths, well done, we're very proud of you here. We need to focus on this, so we're going to do this together to make sure you achieve well. And by the way, the teacher also said this was very, very good. So try to finish on a positive point as well, so you can spend that time praising the child.
Done.